ESPN.com. Congratulations first. I'm sure with a short turnaround like this, you've got to be looking not only at North Dakota but at Alaska and BC. So can you tell me what you think about this matchup tomorrow night?
First of all, thank you. We've actually already broken down film of Anchorage or of Alaska and Boston College. We did that earlier in the week. I think if you're speaking in general terms, Boston College plays the game a lot like we do. They've got some small, quick forwards. They like to play an up-tempo game, and so I think it'll be an exciting matchup.
Bill?
Thanks. Keith, are you one of those coaches who thinks that a 3-0 lead is the hardest lead to play with in hockey?
Oh, Bill, no, I don't know. I mean, I think when you're playing a good team, any lead's a tough lead until that final buzzer goes off.
Coach, can you talk about the decision to start Ryan Rondo in net tonight after not having been in there since the end of November?
Yeah, I mean, it's really no different than anything we've been doing all year long. One of the things I told the team after we got knocked out in our conference tournament was that the goaltender who deserved to play after these 2 weeks of practice was going to play, and that it was open season competition, and Ryan won the competition.
Coach, just talk about how that top line stepped up since Sean Bagman went down, specifically to play Denny Carney tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that line is fantastic. I mean, we used Kevin with those two players last year. And we made the change this year when Andrew Miller joined our team. So it was an easy transition to take Kevin and put him with that group of forwards, Brock and Denny, and he lends an element of hardness to those two guys. And I don't think we can lose sight of the play of the Anderson, Mason, and Brockett line. I mean, they don't get on the scoreboard, but there were parts of the game where they were out there every other shift, and they really are an important part of any success that this team has had so far.
Keith, similar to what I asked the players, the chatter about this game beforehand was, hey, BC got through, so we have another BC UND final. Do you feel that your team kind of might have, felt that was a motivation? Did they use it tonight?
I don't know. I'm unaware of the chatter. I think I have a group of competitive people. I think competitive people compete all the time. They don't pick and choose. They don't need extra special motivation. I think it's just a fantastic team that wanted to win very badly.
More questions for Coach? Bill?
I mean, as a goalie, you face some penalty shots. As a coach, how was it to watch a penalty shot in that critical a situation in the game? What was it like for you?
Well, it's funny because I'm going through, I know they had the choice to take the power play or take the penalty shot, and in my mind, I'm thinking, in general, a shooter scores 1 out of 3 on a penalty shot, and a good power play is about 25%, so the penalty shot is the right pick for the coach. But the ice wasn't very good, and our guys were chirping at the guy taking the shot, so I think those things worked in our favor.
Coach, lately at the end of the season, you become accustomed to going down and coming from behind late. So at the start of the third period today, did you get kind of a sense that it was like, okay, we have a 3-0 lead, now what?
No, I mean, some teams are able to change their game and play a more defensive style when we get the lead. I think our personality is that we have to try to be good at what we're good at, and so we didn't want to make a change. I knew that North Dakota, they're such a great team, and they're playing for their lives. We're going to come at us really, really strongly. Like I said earlier, the tough part was that they scored so early in the period, and they had all that time left to work with.
John?
Thanks, Keith. John Powers, Boston Globe. BC and North Dakota had played a bunch in this tournament. I don't find any record that you and BC have ever played in the postseason, and haven't played in 5 years. I mean, it's just some kind of odd thing that two teams that have been in the same vicinity forever just never have played.
I don't want to say this, but I think part of the reason is that Yale hasn't been in the tournament all that much. But if you check your history, I think I might have beaten BC in a 10-9 game when I was a goaltender years back.
Brian? Coach, I really enjoyed Brian's comments about playing loose, playing with house money. How do you keep them loose but focused going into tomorrow?
I think that's the challenge that all coaches face, and it's something that we're constantly trying to monitor. I think it goes back to last year. We got our first kick at the can in this tournament, and I feel like we played tight, and I could sense it coming in, and I was determined to make sure that if we weren't going to be successful, that wasn't going to be the reason. So I addressed it with the team. I tried to keep things loose. With the end of our meeting today, we showed some film that was of humorous nature, and I think, but it's a balance, and we'll try our best for tomorrow.
Keith, here, you mentioned not being in the tournament a lot. If you were to go to the Frozen Four, what do you think this could do for the Yale program?
Well, certainly it would be, it's never happened, so it would really open up people's eyes to the kind of kids that we have in our program right now, and maybe to the kind of possibilities that exist within our program. So those are two great things. I think right now my focus is on the 26 kids we have on our hockey team, and I would really like for them to experience that.
Coach, can you just talk about how dominant Mark Arcabello was on face-offs tonight? Obviously, at the end, you were keeping him out there to take all the defensive zone draws.
Yeah, Arco was our best. I don't know if I would use the word dominant. It's something that we tracked during the games, and what happened at the end of the game, which is what I love to see players do, is there was a face-off in our zone, and I was going to put Mason's line out there, and Arco said, "Coach, I have this draw." And so I put him out there with Mason and Anderson, and he had that draw.
Any last questions for Coach? Right here.
I just want to hear more about that humorous film. What was the...
My assistant coaches put it together. It was, it was Will Farrell and somebody else, and it was funny.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Coach Elaine, thank you very much. Congratulations. It'll be Yale.